All right, we got that. This thing is filthy. Look at my hands. It leaked all over the Jeep. Well, not over the Jeep, but the tarp. Oh, man, this is brutal. Gotta clean this up. But this thing is our rack and pinion. That, as you guys are probably guessing, needs to go into there. The one inside the car, it's no good. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I got Nikolai here, wherever he is. He decided that he's gonna come help me on his favorite car that he likes to work on. We had a big chat on how he loves the 240. That's not right. No. So as you guys can see behind me, I have the 240 jacked up, and I was planning on doing just a little thing before I started the video, and this was a couple days ago. I just wanted to fix like a little tiny minor leak because there's no point in filming it when all I gotta do is tighten down a bolt just a little bit more. So I tightened it down, kept leaking. Then I got these new copper crush washers, kept leaking. And then I got underneath there, I'm like, where is this coming from? Because I thought it was coming from the bolt that I was tightening. But as you guys can see, that all came out in literally 1 second. As I was filling this reservoir up, I was filling it up and I can hear it dumping out there instantly. So after further inspection, I found out it was my rack and pinion. Those things aren't cheap to buy a new one. So I bought the seal kit. Those things aren't easy to reseal. So I bought secondhand. We're gonna toss this one in there, along with a few other things that are gonna make this car look awesome. And then I'm just gonna keep the one that's in the car, use the seal kit that I bought, maybe do that future down the road, just in case this one ever goes, or I can sell it and try and recoup a little bit of money. The absolute bare minimum thing I wanna do before I even start touching this thing is spray it down with degreaser, move it outside, and hit the pressure washer on it to try and remove all of that gunk. I don't know if you guys can see it too well, but I did put some pieces of rubber glove inside the hole just so that the water doesn't get inside the whole thing. I don't know what this thing's called. Maybe that's like some sort of gear in there, maybe? Or a pump, I don't know. Either way, I plugged the holes. We have a whole bunch of random stumps out here because we cut down a tree. That's yucky. Now this is how this thing was supposed to look. It's like obviously not perfect. Like there's a lot of rust and some grime that we just couldn't get rid of. But this thing I can, like, you could pick it up without wearing gloves. Like this is so much better. I got this. We could easily put it in the car and make it drive. So like I said, I wanted to make something that helped the car and then also made it look really cool. So let me grab the parts. These things are called extended lower control arms for the fronts. So FLCA. So the beauty of these things is they're your control arms. They're a little bit beefier than the ones that we have stock. I don't feel like I'm gonna come into the position where I'm gonna be breaking them. I can't see myself drifting this thing too hard, but nonetheless, this thing is gonna give us the camber that we want. And the amount of camber we want is, because that's stupid. And I wanna do something stupid to this. This thing isn't my daily, so I just wanna make this thing just look wild. That's my whole goal with it. But yeah, so we're gonna take this thing out, and then to account for these things being extra long, these things need to be extra long. I got new ones of these. So these things should be a little bit longer, I think, I don't know. That's what we're doing. Extended lower control arm, big camber. I wanna see, what do you think? How many I wanna see at least -7 degrees.
I thought your goal was 10.
10 would be cool, but I think realistically we're gonna get 7. Like, I want this thing to be obnoxiously, like, cambered. I think that would just be funny. This guy goes into there somehow. So, we gotta take the little tie wire off. I don't believe there's a right and left. That'd be really awkward if there is. I really hope we can reuse these boots. Yeah. So, I don't know. We should be able to. I don't see why we wouldn't be able to.
Should be able to snake it off.
Yeah. Oh, yuck.
Oh, boy.
Uh-oh, she's leaking. Don't leak, don't leak, don't leak, don't leak. Doesn't leak. So that side leaks.
So this side's leaking. Wonderful.
Alright, well, I'm gonna send that guy a text message. He seemed like a nice guy. You know, he probably didn't know.
I mean, maybe the fluid is supposed to go in there just for
lubrication.
Lubrication, yeah.
But like maybe this is like a grease or an oil, because that doesn't look like power steering fluid. But it could be power steering fluid. That's not supposed to be leaking, I don't think. Okay, so we came to the conclusion that it's not supposed to leak. And the only thing that we might be able to think about, or Nikolai actually said it, is it's been sitting a while. If it was sitting on an angle, then it might just be residue or just a buildup of stuff. So we're really banking on that being it. And the biggest thing is this is kind of a big job, and we don't want to fully install this thing and then have to pull it right back out. So we're going to install this, and if it doesn't work, we take it out, and then I just have to rebuild it. So I bought this rebuild kit, has all the seals and everything that we need. It's just that's a lot of work, and I don't want to do that because that's probably going to take us 6-7 hours. Either way, we have to take one of them out. Right now, these little tabs, I don't know if you guys can see them. Yeah, right there. These little tabs, those have to be folded up. So to loosen this inner tie rod off and put the new bigger one on, this is actually how much bigger this is. This is a great time to show. So that thing's lined up pretty good. So to get this thing in, we need to loosen that. But to loosen that, we need to lift up the tabs. But then also to loosen this thing has to be installed in the car, because if you try and turn this, it's just gonna want to roll that thing. And while he's doing that, I'm gonna start taking off the wheel and trying to get my steering rack out and take off everything else that I need to do, just so when he's ready, we can toss that thing in there and hopefully this works. Okay, so I just took this wheel off, and then as you guys can see, that steering rack is already dripping. So that's the old one. So all we gotta do is take this one nut off, and then there's a few more holding the hoses in, and then some bracing that actually holds the steering rack actually in, and then that's it. Okay, Nikolai just blasted this bolt off, hammered that pin down, and you guys can tell, like, that's a fresh puddle, and it is literally just pooling up. Hopefully you guys can see that. So that's why I desperately needed to change this, because this is just not sustainable. Okay, so now we got the original steering rack out. It is right here. That's this one. This side is the one that leaks so bad. Not as bad as this one, so we're just gonna try and fix that one, put that one back in. We never filmed us taking out because we definitely planned on it, but so much power steering fluid started coming out, and Nikolai's hands were covered. He didn't want to touch the camera, and I was underneath, and like literally fluid was just pouring down my elbow, and it's like went into my shirt. Like, look at this. That's how much just came out, and like I'm underneath there. Every single tool we have here is just soaked in fluid. Like, that is just so greasy. Like, it would have been bad news if one of us tried to do that. So unfortunately, there's no video of that, but we got it out. This is the old one. I took off the one bracket, put it onto this one. Took off the old bushing, put it onto here. Took out the old fitting, put it into the new one. So this one hopefully doesn't leak. If Nikolai's theory is right, then it's not gonna leak. But there's really no way to tell until we get all the lines fitted up. So that's where we're at. We're just gonna go and install this thing, and hopefully everything works out. Okay, so far Nikolai's theory is working out. Might just be some leftover fluid that just got stuck while it's been pooling and sitting for who knows how long. That's the problem with working on cars that are now coming up on 30 years old. But anyways, we got that power steering rack in. Those lines are put in. No fluid is coming out yet. Yet is the key word. Maybe I didn't get ripped off after all, but my biggest worry is that once we get it bolted in, the wheels are on, it's on the ground, and we actually try to turn the wheels, that once there's pressure, it's just gonna start blowing fluid out of it. That's the big thing that I'm worried about. But so far so good. We have been topping it off with fluid. Pretend this is the one that's on there. You can kind of tell how there's like the grooves for the wrench, but I don't have a, that's a 20 mil. I only have a 19 or 21, and my adjustable wrench doesn't go that big. So we're gonna put the vice grip on, and you clamp it in there like that. So to take it off of that, you just gotta spin it. But it's on there so tight, so when we put on the wrench is gonna be going that way. Then we're gonna get the floor jack to crank it up. I'll show you when we're filming, but I just wanna let you guys know. This way is like pretty hectic, and I probably wouldn't recommend doing this, because if you do it wrong, you definitely can jack the car off of the jack stands. And like, that's really dangerous. So just, if you're gonna do it, like, I'm not your dad, so I'm not gonna tell you not to do it, but just be careful. So that's what I'm talking about.
Looks like we're spinning. Yeah, we're spinning.
That wasn't too bad at all.
No.
So this gap right here is gonna push the wheel out. It's gonna push the wheel out just a little bit more, with the control arms also pushing it out, just so everything lines up. Otherwise, if you only do this, your wheels are gonna be like that. but with the longer control arms, it's going to center it back out. If that makes sense.
And that's where you get your camber.
And then you get camber because also you're pushing out only the bottom to be like that. Those things are fully bolted on now. Need to replace this guy. That I think is your tension rod, and this guy your lower control arm. So that combo is right here. So there's your adjustable tension rod. I'm just going to keep calling it tension rod until someone corrects me. And then your control arm, and that guy's also adjustable. So we got to take out this bolt, and then a few more bolts back there. That one way in the back. This whole entire lower control arm, that's what we're replacing.
Oh boy. This has to be held.
Hold on. This is our whole entire scenario. So, ratchet strap through the knuckle. Ratchet strap continues all the way to my bench. Okay, so this one goes out to you, Robbie. I saw you comment and you said, oh, what is he building that bench so strong for? This is why I built that bench. My bench is a certified tie down spot. There it is. Yes. Look at that. That's not going anywhere. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why you build your bench strong. Big bushing though, dude, for this truck.
Okay. You can probably stand back.
Usually, when you buy aftermarket parts, because you want strength. So you got this guy, that little flimsy guy, versus stock. I don't know about this one. This one could be a bust. The other big thing I'm worried about is everything here is really adjustable. Like, that's the beauty of it. The other one adjusts better. Like, you break this off and then you can extend it, right? That's what the whole point of this thing is. But I have no idea what has to happen. Like, I don't know how far I want this out. And like, you're supposed to do all of your alignment stuff with this. I have no idea, so I'm definitely gonna have to go find someone that will put this on their alignment machine, because a lot of places around here, they don't take lowered cars. So I think getting the alignment is gonna be one of the bigger issues. All I know is this guy's poopy, and this guy, poopy, but not as poopy.
Yeah, that's...
Okay, so we just washed this thing, and look how much better it looks. Like, it's actually a nice color. And honestly, kind of matches my 240. This one's the driver one. We're gonna get this side in. Hopefully everything goes smoothly. And then we can bolt up the new inner and outer tie rods to the knuckle. And then all I gotta do left is kind of adjust everything to get all the max camber and try and get all of the alignment stuff done with. Is it this guy? I think that's him. Okay, now he's getting that nut on, so that's good. Now we just gotta try and get that one to line up. That one could be a bit of an issue. Getting that back piece through, it's extremely tough. So we're gonna loosen off that bolt, that, just to try and get everything in there loose so it can come forward, and then we'll do that stuff later.
Yeah, you might be able to now.
That helped a lot.
Yeah, it's not as tight now.
Yeah. So it's a new day, and last night we ran into a bit of an issue. Went to install one of these, kind of got it in there, kind of bolted it up, like not super tight, but when I went to adjust something, every single thing, like there, even that middle piece, everything was seized. So we took these things out, put them in the bench vise, got every single bolt loose, cleaned the threads, used brake clean, degreaser, anti-seize, put everything back together, and then we let it set overnight just to make sure everything is going to be good. So all of these should be spinning freely, just like that. Like that, it takes no effort. Okay, so last night I was watching a few videos on how to do like a self-alignment, and it seems kind of tough. And especially all the videos I was watching is like how to get everything like factory spec. I don't want the wheels like that. I want the wheels like -7 to -10 degrees camber. So that was the big thing that I got to try and figure out. And then also it never showed me how to like install the parts to a correct setting to even get it remotely close, then you fine tune it. So I think I'm just gonna have to try and wing all of that. I think that's gonna be the biggest learning curve, but I'll definitely try and show you guys, so if you guys ever come into this situation, then you know what to do. Like, I'm not a professional. I don't know what I'm doing here, and like, I think that's a good perspective for you guys, because you may not know what you're doing either, but I'm just showing you that anything is possible. Okay, so I've been working on this thing for probably an hour and a half, just trying to figure out how this stuff works, because honestly, this is the first time doing it, and it's pretty difficult because there's 3 different things I need to adjust, and then if I adjust one too much, it completely throws it out, and if I don't do enough, it doesn't do anything. And then you get it good, and then you go look on the other side, and the other side's just totally hooped. So this is what I'm talking about. This one, you can kind of tell is straight. This one isn't turned. So that one's straight on, and then the wheel is fairly straight. And then there's this one. So this one, that one's like fully turned in, and the wheel is still straight. So, and then I go and start like doing the toe on the other side, and then messes up this side, then the steering wheel's not straight. So that's one of the biggest issues that I'm running into. It kind of sucks, but it's definitely a learning curve. And the more I mess around with it, the more I feel comfortable with it. But what I do want to show you guys is the camber. But if I put the camera right there, and then I toss the wheel on, hopefully you guys can see it. So that's definitely not the 7 to 10 degree camber that I was talking about earlier, but it's not a bad start. Once I kind of get it like that, then it's just the fine tuning from there. I mainly need to worry about the toe in and toe out. I did the 2x4 and the phone level trick, and it was reading negative 12 degrees. So I really don't know how accurate that is because it's just the iPhone level and it's still elevated, but I think honestly I could call that pretty close, maybe. Let's say plus or minus 4 degrees. So that's not bad. I didn't think it was that much. You know what? I'm actually pretty happy about that. So I'm just gonna use the iPhone level because at least I can get both sides symmetrical. That's the main thing I want. I don't want this side negative 10, the other side negative 4, you know? So the iPhone level is gonna work like that until I can actually get it to an alignment rack. But so far I'm actually really happy with how this is going. My steering wheel is straight and it's completely centered in the steering rack. So I need to work on getting this wheel straight and that wheel straight. As you guys can tell, I'm gonna have to mess with this arm right here. So all I'm gonna have to do is just rotate that until the toe is where I want it. So I just went ahead and tightened everything, that bolt, and then that one back there. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the wheel on. I need to get this thing resting, like on the wheels, but I wanna keep it also jacked up. So what I think I'm gonna do is put the wheels on, jack it up a little bit higher, and then use my spare Jeep rims, and then put the wheels rested on top of those. So technically it's still elevated, and I can still get under there and adjust everything if I need to. Because then what I'm gonna do is I can get a tape measure and measure from inside a wheel to inside of the wheel on the back, and then also on the front. And then I'll just split the difference and try and make it as square as possible, and then that should be setting my toe correctly. So after getting my toe set correctly, and well, at least I think it's correctly, and I was underneath and it was just a whole disaster, but I'm pretty sure I got it close. Now, is it roadworthy? No. But is it enough to get me down to an alignment shop? Yeah, absolutely. The only thing that I don't know how to do is the caster, because I'm basically just eyeballing it in the middle of the wheel well. But I have aftermarket fenders and I have side skirts, so all the gaps are gonna be weird anyways. So I also think I got the camber right, but then the camber, like if the car is leaning more this way, my app's not gonna tell me that. So I just need a professional alignment. But the thing I don't like is look at this. Look at that fitment. That fitment's nice. Like, it's not perfect, but it's nice. That is not good. So the greasy thing I could do is get a wheel spacer and bring it out a bit, but then that's wheel spacer on one side. So yeah, I might have to do that just for aesthetic reasons, not for mechanical or anything like that. I definitely got the camber that I wanted. So I would like a little bit more, but that's something that I could get the shop to do. But right now, both sides are sitting around 8. Zoom in on that. So like that looks awesome. But anyways, I just need to get this thing jacked up, put back onto jack stands so I can start it up and then hopefully doesn't leak, because that would be bad news. started up first time. Okay, now we just gotta fill up the power steering fluid and just watch for leaks. Hopefully none.
Okay, so that's all previous. There is not a single leak under there.
So I guess that means that the power steering rack that we picked up wasn't leaking. So I guess that was just the residual stuff that Nikolai was saying, but nothing else leaks. And honestly, it's a really good feeling because I was not excited to put this thing in on just a 50-50 chance. So I'm just gonna end the video here. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you leave a comment down below and also hit the like button because you guys are the reason that I do this. You are the people that make me motivated to come out here and work on my car because I don't have many other people that enjoy working on cars with me. Like Robbie, he moved across the country, so it's just tough to try and find time and motivation to work on this car, shoot the videos, edit the videos when I don't see much of an end goal. If you guys interact with me down in the comments, like I always reply to stuff, and if you guys leave comments, that lets me know that you guys want to see more of this. So with that being said, I thank you guys so much for watching this, and I'll see you later.